What's up, everybody? This is Caleb Cole, and I am coming at you live. No, not live, but I'm coming at you from Midtown Sacramento. I'm really excited to share with you today. But I don't know when you're watching this. Doesn't matter when you're watching this, but I do want to tell you about something our church is doing. See, I'm recording this as our sermon, our Sunday morning sermon, and it's going to be a little short mini sermon for you that you can watch online. But I'm doing this because on August 27th, we are calling it Hope Sunday. We're actually not having church at either of our campuses in West Sacramento or downtown because we are going to be the church. We are out serving, man. We have 8 different projects all across Midtown and downtown. And so if you're watching this before August 27th, you need to sign up and go to a project that morning. We're going to be serving. It's going to be incredible. If you're watching this after Hope Sunday, August 27th, just be encouraged by this word that God has given me to share with you today. So we have been in the middle of a series called Pits and Prisons, and this series has been about the life of Joseph, looking at the life of Joseph, and the tagline for the series is leading through chaos. The reality is often our lives are chaotic. It feels like chaos. Chaos is surrounding us. We feel like we're in the middle of chaos, and that was Joseph. I mean, from the very beginning, he's a teenager. He gets sold into slavery, thrown into a pit, sent off to a foreign country. He ends up doing the right thing, following God. God blesses him. He's working in a guy named Potiphar's house. And then Potiphar's wife tries to seduce him, tempts him, and he does the right thing. He maintains his integrity, follows in obedience to what God would say, doesn't sin against God or against this man or this woman or against himself. And as a result, she accuses him falsely of trying to be with her, and he gets thrown into prison. So now here he is in prison for a few years, and again God's favor is upon him. He gets elevated within the prison. The leader of the prison, the ward of the prison, basically puts him in charge of everything. And here he is, and God has continued to use him and speak to him. And so here come a couple guys into the prison who worked in Pharaoh's house, and they have dreams. They each have a dream, and they don't know what to do with the dreams. And so they actually Joseph hears that they have these dreams, and Joseph says, look, I'll interpret your dreams. And the one gets a bad interpretation. He says, look, you're going to get killed. Pharaoh's going to kill you, and that's what your dream is telling you. The other one, he says to him, you're going to be reinstated. You're going to be reinstated into Pharaoh's house. One was a baker, one was a cup holder. He says to the cup holder, you're going to be reinstated into Pharaoh's house, and gives him a positive, basically interpretation of his dream. Well, these both come true. The baker gets killed, the cupbearer gets reinstated, but Joseph says something to the cupbearer as he's about to leave, getting reinstated to his position. He says, remember me when you go back into Pharaoh's house. He asks him that one thing. It's the only thing he asks him after interpreting his dream. Remember me. And what happens is the Bible actually tells us in Genesis chapter 40 that this person, this individual, this cupbearer, forgets about him. That's what Scripture tells us. It says, he did not remember Joseph, but forgot him. So what I want to talk to you about today is the reality of being forgotten or overlooked. So here's what I've seen. Every one of us in life, we have a desire. We have a desire to know people and to be known by people. Right? That we would know people, we would have relationship. We were designed for relationship, designed for community. And then we have a desire to be known by people, that people see us, they recognize us. I mean, how powerful is it when someone remembers your name, when they know you, and there's a community, there's a relationship that is built just simply by knowing and being known. We all want that. And yet in life, we're often overlooked or we're forgotten. And that's what Joseph experienced here. He experienced a moment where he was forgotten, even after doing something really amazing for this individual of interpreting his dream for him, which came to pass. So I would say to you, I know that in my life, I've been overlooked at times, even when I thought I should have got a position or been the person picked. I remember being on the playground and being the last one picked when I felt like I should have been the first one picked. We've all experienced that in life and the pain that comes with that, being overlooked. But we've also experienced what it's like to be forgotten by people. Maybe it's in relationships. Maybe it's just simply someone that you thought was going to reach out or be there for you that forgot about you and didn't reach out and wasn't there for you. So what I want to talk to you about today is this idea of how we can still lead even through the midst of us being overlooked or forgotten at times in our lives. Because I believe God has called us as followers of Christ to lead and to be leaders. And we must lead in a humble way. And that means even when we're overlooked or forgotten, we don't take offense at that, but we lead through that. And I also believe that we should be people that don't overlook people and don't forget about people. There's so much power in that we would be those that see people, that call out the purpose and the truth in people, and that recognize people and their gifts, their abilities, their talents. And we speak into that we would be those who are includers, that include people in our story and in the story that God has for our lives. So I want to challenge you today. I got a couple points for you, I guess we could say, as it relates to this idea of leading through being overlooked and being forgotten. First thing is this: don't give yourself a chance to overlook or forget people. I want to encourage you with that. You see, I think as we lead through this idea of being overlooked or forgotten, we should be people that don't overlook and don't forget about others. So when I say that, I think this is practical because I've experienced in my life, like I'm a pastor, and people a lot will come to me and say like, hey, Caleb, can I meet with you? Can we connect? Can we have coffee? Can we have a meal together? And often what happens in this is I go, oh yeah, that'd be great. Let's do it. Let's grab coffee. Let's get a meal. And then they're expecting me to reach out. And then I just had a conversation with them in passing and I forget, right? I forget about it. Go about my day. Weeks go by and I maybe run into them again later. And I've experienced where literally people have been offended or hurt by the fact that I said, yeah, let's get coffee, or let's connect, let's have dinner, let's have a meal. And then I never reached out. I never connected with them. I never contacted them. So here's something that I've done. This is just really practical that I think would help you in being someone that doesn't overlook and doesn't forget people, is that I literally schedule it right then. So if someone is talking to me and they say, Caleb, can we grab coffee? I literally pull out my phone and I go, okay, you want to grab coffee? Like, what's your calendar look like? I'm free this day. I'm free this day. I have this time. And I'll literally schedule it right then, right there. It's in my calendar. I set a reminder. Why? Because otherwise, I'm going to forget. I'm probably going to overlook because it's just not in my mind. I mean, we all have so much going on. But I've literally experienced in my life where I have hurt people and even damaged relationships simply because I said, yeah, we should do that, or let's do that, but I didn't follow through. There's something powerful about following through. And so many of us are guilty of this, but why not follow through right there? So I would just encourage you that instead of waiting or say, yeah, I'll text you, or just do it right then, man. Schedule it. Sit down and say, when can we do this? When can we meet up? What is our, how do our calendars mesh? Make a plan right there and right then. Don't give yourself a chance to overlook or forget people. And that's something I've implemented in my life. It's been hugely beneficial for me. Second is give people the benefit of the doubt, all right? And so this goes hand in hand with this. So I think often we feel forgotten, we feel overlooked. And it's not because people have a personal vendetta against us. It's not because people think we're socially awkward, even though some of us are, right? It's not because they don't like us. Often it's because, man, we're just forgetful and we're humans and we meant to invite everyone to an event and we left somebody off the list. So let's be those who are grace driven. I mean, God lavishes grace upon us every single day. We've received the ultimate gift of grace. We should be people that give grace quickly. And so, man, I've been overlooked before. I've been forgotten. I've had friends not invite me to things. I've had people say they're going to connect with me and they didn't. And instead of getting bitter and saying, man, that person, I can't believe they say they're a leader, they say they care about me, or they say they're my friend, why not give them the benefit of the doubt? Which leads into my last point today, which is to be a person that doesn't take offense, but that plays offense. All right, so a word that's spelled exactly the same, but actually pronounced differently and means different things. There's a difference between offense and offense. So I'm an athlete, man. I love sports. And so I understand the idea of offense, right? Where we're on the offense. We're trying to score. We're trying to attack. We're trying to make it happen. But what happens is our natural inclination as human beings is that we get offended. We take offense. And so this connects back to the last point of giving people the benefit of the doubt is so often we're quick to take offense. But the reality is this, like as followers of Jesus Christ, we really must give up our rights. We must live as humble people. We must say, you know what, it's not about me. It's not about what I can get. It's about what I can give. And people who live on offense or walk out moving towards being an offensive person, right? They're on the attack. They're moving forward and attacking a good way. They're wanting to make things happen. So let's not be people who are always offended. Let's be people who are taking responsibility and actually initiating relationships. I don't want to be someone who's always offended every time someone forgets me, whether on purpose or accidentally, or overlooks me on purpose or accidentally. I want to be someone who says, you know what? Maybe they didn't reach out to me, but I can reach out to them. Maybe I saw that invite on Facebook that I didn't get invited to that party, but maybe I could just send a text and say, hey, I noticed I wasn't invited, but was wondering if it was cool if I came. My guess is they'll be like, of course, oh man, I meant to invite you. So I think this is real practical. And in terms of Joseph's life, it actually says in Genesis 41:1, so following this chapter where Joseph interprets the dream, says that the cupbearer forgets about him. It says after 2 whole years, Pharaoh has a dream. 2 years later, Joseph is still in prison, still doing his thing in prison, wrongly accused. This cupbearer, after Pharaoh has a dream, he finally remembers Joseph. He remembers, like, wait, I know someone who can interpret a dream. I know someone who could tell you the truth about what this dream means, Pharaoh. And I think that's significant because the reality is this. He was finally remembered, but one thing that Joseph never developed was bitterness. He never developed bitterness in his heart, bitterness in his spirit. He was someone that, even though was overlooked, and even though here in this moment was forgotten, he didn't get bitter about it. He continued to be faithful in who God had called him to be, what God had called him to do, even in a prison, in like a horrible situation. And then finally he was remembered and he gets elevated to being literally second in command over all of Egypt. And so I'll just say to this, that you would protect your heart, protect your spirit, that you wouldn't get bitter. You wouldn't be a person that takes offense easily. You wouldn't be a person that every time you're forgotten, overlooked by a friend or someone that you were trying to connect with or a leader in your life, that you would say, you know what, I'm going to not develop a root of bitterness in my heart, but I would be someone that says, you know what, God, I'm going to be faithful and diligent in who you've called me to be. We can't control what people do or how they treat us, their actions towards us. The only thing we can control is our reaction to people, our reaction to what people do. And so I just challenge you that you would not be a person that gets bitter, allows a root of bitterness to grow in you, but you say, you know what? I'm going to give people the benefit of the doubt. I'm going to be grace driven. I'm not going to give myself opportunity to overlook people or forget people because I hate when I get overlooked or forgotten. And I'm going to be a person that goes on offense, and I'm going to be one that says, you know what? I've been overlooked, I've been forgotten in my life, but I don't want to be that type of person. So every chance you get, you make it a goal that you don't forget people, you don't overlook people, that we would see people. And I believe, God's been challenging this for me, that I would remember names more, that I would see people more, I would recognize them and speak into the gifts that I see in them. There's something powerful about seeing people, about meeting them eye to eye, face to face, and speaking life over them. And so let's be a people, number one, that don't take offense. They don't get bitter, even when we're forgotten, overlooked, which we will be, okay? You will be overlooked. You will be forgotten. But let's be a people that say, you know what? I'm going to walk with grace for those that do forget me, for those that do overlook me, number one. And number two, I'm going to be a person that strives to not forget others and not overlook others. because everyone wants to know and to be known. And so I want to make it my goal, man, that people see that I know them, that they are known by me and known by the people around me. So I want to encourage you with that. Thank you guys for listening, for being leaders. Thank you for all those who are serving at Hope Sunday. I hope this message has encouraged you, but we will see you next Sunday, September 3rd, at both of our campuses, downtown at the Crust Theater, 9:30, 11:30, and West Sac at Stonegate Elementary at 10:30. Love you guys. We'll see you soon.